Hi, hello everyone. This is a bit of a different video. I don't really have a video game to talk about today. Today's video is about video games as a whole. Last night when I was trying to think about what my next video was actually going to be about, a thought came to me. There's been a lot of negative things about so many video games lately. I feel like I see bad things about video games way more than I see good things. Now, I'm not saying that people are just being more of assholes, because to be honest, most of these negative things are deserved. So much of the video game market just feels soulless, and it feels disappointing. I do want to clarify this before really getting into the video. Not all video games are disappointing. There are so many video games that I love, and some that are pretty recent titles. Not every new game is bad. Most recently, Expedition 33 has been getting a lot of praise, and that's fantastic. Good games should absolutely be praised, and this game has been knocking it out of the park, so good on Expedition 33 for that. But I do find it concerning when it shocks me when a game gets praised like this, because I've gotten to the point where every time a game comes out, I just expect it to be bad. I wasn't always like that, and the gaming sphere wasn't always like that. Companies put so much care and passion into each project. They wanted to truly create something that people would love and cherish for years to come. Games like Red Dead 2 or Elden Ring come to mind when I think about that. But now it just feels like most gaming companies, more specifically AAA companies, are just pumping out the same game over and over again to make as much money as possible because it's the safe option. Because they see branching out and trying new things as too dangerous, because it might not make them as much money, and that's all it is to them. It's money. And I know that's how it has been for a while with large companies, basically forever with large companies. They have to make as much money as possible, but all that leads to is the most dull and unoriginal games on the damn planet. It leads to a soulless gaming market just filled to the brim with corporate greed. Every damn time I hear about a new AAA game, it's either the same game again or a new half-baked game, because they love to work the hell out of the workers and still not give them enough time to really make the game good. And the best word I can use for this is disappointing. Video games have been in my life for as long as I can remember. As a really young child, I would watch my dad play games on the Xbox 360, whether it be NCAA or one of the Batman Arkham games, to when I started playing Minecraft Pocket Edition or Geometry Dash on my mom's iPad, when I got a PS4 for Christmas and really started playing games. I feel that I got into really playing video games at one of the best times you could. I believe I got a PS4 in 2016 or 2017, and there were some amazing games coming out around that time and a bit after that time. Red Dead 2, God of War, Spider-Man, Batman Arkham Knight had come out around a year prior to me getting the PS4. Ghost of Tsushima came out in 2020, Sekiro was in 2019, but I wouldn't play that for a couple years later. What I'm saying is, from the time I was playing games up to the 2021, 2022-ish time, I feel roughly around there, I think, I want to say the amount of shitty games was much less. At least it wasn't everywhere all the time, especially from the bigger companies. Now, in the later years of that timeline, like the 2018 to 2019, 2020 and stuff like that, games like Madden and most sports games had gotten pretty stale from being basically the same thing over and over again, and same with things like Call of Duty and stuff. But when I was little, these games were so much better because it felt like there was actually a soul. It felt like the people that made it really cared about it. And that's how it felt with so many games. Now, yes, there were still bad games coming out, absolutely. But at least from what I remember, it was so much less. If I spent $60 on a game back when that was the max they would be, I would be confident I was getting a solid experience from that game, because that's how I always saw the $60 price point. That price was for the best of the best games. The games guaranteed to give you an amazing experience. That thought was only cemented into my brain even more since I bought many $60 games on the PS4, and they were all amazing. Some seriously changed me in how I view video games, but once the price jumped up to $70, it got a bit more iffy. It felt much harder for games to justify that price point, and to this day, I've never actually bought a $70 game. I've played them since then, since I've gotten a few for Christmas, but I've never actually spent $70 on a game. But it wasn't just the price that stopped me from buying the full price games, it was the inconsistency in the quality amongst them. I started noticing games becoming less and less polished and more soulless and disappointing. One of the best examples I can give for this is Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man was a fantastic game. I really enjoyed it. It really felt like the people making it really cared about what they were creating and wanted to make the best Spider-Man game they could. And that's what they did. Spider-Man was fantastic, and I recommend it to everyone. I even went and platinumed it, so I was definitely excited when Spider-Man 2 was coming out, and then it came out. And it was fine. It was just fine. The same energy and soul that was in the first Spider-Man game could not be found anywhere in Spider-Man 2 for me. While the traversal was amazing, everything else felt boring and like nothing. It just felt like really nothing to me. It was such a boring platinum to get, and to be honest, it was just kind of a disappointing game. I expected a lot more from it, especially after the amazingness that was the first Spider-Man game. I believe that Spider-Man 2 was the last $70 game I played before Doom the Dark Ages, and I really enjoyed Doom the Dark Ages. And yes, it has its flaws, but I did really enjoy it, and I thought it was a pretty solid game, but I also haven't played the other Doom games, and I feel that when I do, my feelings towards Doom the Dark Ages are going to change. Also, just for a little heads up, I did not spend the $70 on Doom the Dark Ages either. I got it off of Game Pass. Another thing I would like to touch on is the recent price rise in games. It won't be long before the normal full price for games is $80, and what's crazy is that $70 was already an insane amount for most games coming out at this time. They just don't deserve the $70 price point, and if games can't even live up to their $70 price, how the hell are they going to live up to an $80 price? I'll scream it from the mountaintops for as long as I need to. AAA gaming is dead. It has turned into a money-hungry mass of soulless games and gaming companies just trying to squeeze every penny out of their games and their fan base. If there's a full-price game you want, I always recommend you wait for it to go on sale. Because once again, the consistency is so hit and miss, and it's already hard for games to feel worthy of a $70 price point, and there's only a few games that I would feel could truly earn that $70 price. You're going to feel so much less disappointed with a game if you only have to spend $45 to $50 on it rather than $70, and vice versa. If you get the game for cheaper than $70 and it's actually really good, then you're going to feel even better because you got it for such a good deal. Indie games are absolutely the future, and there's no doubt about it. These games that cost $20-$30 blow AAA games out of the water. The best example is Hollow Knight. I got the game on Christmas sale last year for like $10. That game brought me more enjoyment and playtime than literally any $70 game ever has. Now, I know that this is an inherently negative video. I've just been talking about how bad a lot of games are these days, but I only take this stance because I love video games. I've grown up with video games. They were a part of my childhood and still are a big part of my life. So it's just disappointing to see so many games be so disappointing. Something has to change, or they're going to keep doing this. And that's all I really got to talk about today, guys. I'll see you guys later.